Thanks very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show that puts obscure knowledge to the test. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
I'm Andrew, this is my friend Steve, and we're from Brighton.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Alex, this is my wife Sophie, and we're from Whitley Bay.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Dale, this is my father Keith, and we're from Coventry.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Estelle, this is my good friend Kath, and we live in Cheshire.
And these are today's contestants. Thanks, all of you. We'll find out more about you throughout the show as it goes along. So that just leaves one more person for me to introduce, a bureau de change whose currency is cold, hard facts. And I can tell you they are currently trading at 4.25 to the pound. It is my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon to you.
And to you.
How are you?
I'm really very well. How about you?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, we've only got one returning pair today. That's Andrew and Steve, who we saw last time. We didn't see them for very long. Got knocked out in the first round last time, gents, didn't you? But this time they're seasoned pros.
Oh, yes.
Well, not seasoned pros, because you were with us for about 4.5 minutes. But
yeah.
you know what I mean. You've been here before. It's a lovely first question today.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now, all our questions on Pointers have been put to 100 people before the show. All our contestants have to do is find the obscure answers those 100 people didn't get. Of course, everyone's trying to find a pointless answer. That is an answer that none of our 100 people gave. And each time that happens, we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. Now, Lee and Simon won the jackpot last time, so today's jackpot starts off at £1,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, in this round, I'll take an answer from each of you, but there is to be no conferring. Whichever pair has the highest score at the end of the round will be heading home, so try and make sure that isn't you. OK, our first category today is sitcoms. Sitcoms. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And the question concerns sitcom couples. Sitcom couples, Richard.
On each pass, we're going to show you the character names of 7 sitcom couples from British sitcoms. Just need to tell us the shows they appeared in, please. It's going to be 14 in all to have a go at home, so good luck.
Thanks very much indeed. So we're looking for the sitcoms which featured these couples, and here they are on our first board. Frank Spencer and Betty Spencer, Rodney Trotter and Cassandra Trotter, Adam Smallbone and Alex Smallbone, Hyacinth Bouquet and Richard Bouquet, Victor Meldrew and Margaret Meldrew, Tim Canterbury and Dawn Tinsley, and Rhea Parkinson and Leonard Dunn. I'll read those one final time. Frank Spencer and Betty Spencer, Rodney Trotter and Cassandra Trotter, Adam Smallbone and Alex Smallbone, Hyacinth Bouquet and Richard Bouquet, Victor Meldrew and Margaret Meldrew, Tim Canterbury and Dawn Tinsley, and Rhea Parkinson and Leonard Dunn. There we are. Now, Andrew and Steve, you all drew lots before the show, and today you are going to go first. Andrew, tell us about last time.
I let the side down last time, the periodic table.
Well, you didn't let the side down. I mean, it was an incorrect answer, but you went about it in exactly the right way. We like people who take risks. Anyway, remind us what you do, Andrew.
I run a recruitment agency business.
And what do you get up to when you're not recruiting?
I'm an avid football fan. We're both season ticket holders at Brighton Hove Albion, so that's probably what I spend most of my spare time doing.
OK, and how do you feel about sitcoms?
Well, I was thinking of going risky again, but after what happened last time, the nerves have set in a little bit, so I'll play relatively safe, and I'll say Hyacinth Bouquet and Richard Bouquet keeping up appearances. Keeping up appearances, says Andrew. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Oh, look at that, 55. Not bad, and by no means the highest score on that board, I suspect.
Yeah, a fairly safe answer from Podium 1. 5 series, 44 episodes of keeping up appearances.
Thanks very much. Now, Sophie, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here. What do you do, Sophie?
I'm a midwife.
How long have you done that for?
I have been a midwife for 7 years.
At which hospital are you at?
The Royal Victoria Infirmary in Newcastle.
Lovely. The RVI. And how long have you been there? Same for the full term,
yes,
so to
since
speak.
I qualified,
I'd use a midwife term there. What do you do when you're not doing that?
Well, I have a little boy who's 10 months old, so
Lovely.
I do a lot of things with him. And I'm currently training for the Great North Swim in Windermere.
Whew, what time of year?
June, but I don't really think that makes much difference.
No, not much.
Really.
And it'll be raining. It's in Windermere. Very good. Now, Sophie, what do you make of this board of sitcom couples?
I am struggling a little bit. So I'm going to go with Victor Meldrew and Margaret Meldrew as One Foot in the Grave.
One Foot in the Grave. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Absolutely right. 55 our score so far, 76 for One Foot in the Grave.
As you say, I suspect there's going to be some big scorers up there. Yeah, written by David Renwick, who also created Jonathan Creek.
Thanks, Richard. Now, Dale. Warm welcome to you, Dale. What do you do?
I'm a computer technician.
Right, you are. In your spare time, Dale, what do you get up to?
I dabble in a bit of songwriting. I can't sing for the life of me, so I'm not even going to try.
That's interesting. So you don't write them for yourself?
I don't write them for myself, no. I actually, through a mutual friend, I got in touch with a girl in America who has become my vocalist, if you like.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, we're looking for the sitcoms that featured these couples.
When I first saw sitcoms, I thought I should be all right with this. But then it became British sitcoms, and no. I'm going to have to go with the one that I do know, Rodney Trotter and Cassandra Trotter, and Only Fools and Horses.
Only Fools and Horses, says Dale. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Only Fools and Horses. Well, it's right. Ooh, look at that. I didn't even get to the end of the word right. 94 for Only Fools and Horses.
Well, that's some name recognition, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah, they meet in the same episode that Dell falls through the bar. It's nice, isn't it?
That is
Yuppie
nice.
love.
Yeah. And Estelle, welcome to you. Great to have you here. What do you do?
I am the head of procurement policy and financial policy for a government department that might be involved in educating children.
That might be.
So other government departments are available.
Oh, I see. OK, fair enough. What do you get up to in your spare time, Estelle?
I am actually into For My Sins model railways.
How long have you done that, Estelle?
Oh, goodness. Only a few years, about 3-4 years.
What got you into it?
Well, my son, who's 9, started to get into it, and I went along for the fun of it, and now I appear to have taken over. So...
He's not allowed into the
no,
room anymore.
Not really. He might mess it up, so...
OK. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. So, Estelle, you're the last person to have this board. Do you think you can talk us through it?
Goodness. I've got a complete blank on Frank Spencer and Betty Spencer. Now, that's really obvious, and I've seen awful lots of them. But thank goodness I do know Tim Canterbury and Dawn Tinsley are from The Office.
The Office, says Estelle. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said The Office. Is right. Six. Wow. There had to be a low score in there somewhere, Estelle, and you found it. Very well done. 6 for The Office.
If you're going to know one of them, that's the one to know. Very well played. Yeah, played by Martin Freeman and Lucy Davis. A lovely relationship in that sitcom, isn't it? Now, Frank Spencer and Betty Spencer is...
Some mothers do have them.
Some mothers do have them, yeah. Would have scored you 64 points. Rhea Parkinson and Leonard Dunn, again, from the same period. It's Butterflies. Butterflies, Rhea, of course, played by Wendy Craig. And, you know, I bet you know Adam Smallbone and Alex Smallbone.
I do know what it is.
Yeah, it's from a very modern show. It's Tom Hollander and
it's
Olivia
Rev.
Colman
Yes,
in
of course
Rev.
it is. That's what it is, yeah.
And that would have scored you 2. That's the best answer up there, so well done if you said that.
Very good indeed. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. 6, very much the best score of that pass, Estelle. Well done to you. I'd say you and Kath can relax a little bit now on the back of that. Then up to 55, where we find Andrew and Steve. 76, Sophie and Alex. And then 94, I'm afraid, Dale and Keith. So, Keith, we need a low score from you in the next pass if you're going to stay with us beyond this round. Best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more sitcom couples on the board, and here they are. We have got Renee Artois and Edith Artois, Vince Pinner and Penny Warrender, Ben Harper and Susan Harper, Sergeant Wilson and Mrs. Pike, Mark Corrigan and Sophie Chapman, Beverly Lincoln and Sean Lincoln, Basil Fawlty and Sybil Fawlty. I'll read those one final time. Renee Artois and Edith Artois, Vince Pinner and Penny Warrender, Ben Harper and Susan Harper, Sergeant Wilson and Mrs. Pike, Mark Corrigan and Sophie Chapman, Beverly Lincoln and Sean Lincoln, and Basil Fawlty and Sybil Fawlty. There we are. Remember, we are looking for the sitcoms that feature these couples. And, Kath, you need to find a nice low-scoring one, as ever. Brilliant score from Estelle in that last pass.
Thankfully.
Very good indeed. Well, that's taken the pressure off you. When the time comes, you only need to score 87 or less. That will see you comfortably into the next round. But first, Kath, tell us what you do.
I'm the finance director for a company that makes light-up balloons.
Light up balloons.
Yep.
Like what? What light up? Do you
Balloons.
light yourselves? And
Yeah,
you light yourself and...
You pull a tab and
Yeah.
an LED goes on in the balloon, and then you inflate them as the normal. They're good for parties at night, and
Oh, they sound fantastic.
they are. They're amazing.
I want one now. Well, not right now, obviously, but yeah, I think that sounds like a fantastic thing to have. OK, now then, what about this board?
This board is not the best for me. I much prefer the last one, but thankfully there is one that I do know, I hope, and Vince Pinner and Penny Warrender are from Just Good Friends.
Just Good Friends, says Kath. Just Good Friends. Here comes your red line. If you get below that with Just Good Friends, you are in round 2. Let's see how many of our 100 said Just Good Friends. It's right. Very well done indeed. You're through. 18. 18 takes your total up to 24. Very well done, Kath.
That's a good answer. Written by John Sullivan, who wrote Only Fools and Horses as well. They were played by Paul Nicholas and Jan Francis.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now, Keith, welcome to the show. Great to have you here. Now, your son has left you a bit of a mountain to climb.
Yes.
Here. What do you do, Keith?
I'm a builder, kitchens and bathroom fitting.
What do you get up to in your spare time, Keith? What are your hobbies?
Try and play golf as often as I can with Dale, and also trying to learn to play the guitar in my shed.
So you go off and practice the guitar?
Yeah, trying to.
Very good.
I'm not getting very far with it.
Does Dale ever let you play guitar on his songs?
No.
Anyway, Keith, what are you going to go for?
I do know a couple of them. I'm going to go for Sergeant Wilson and Mrs. Pike, as in Dad's Army.
Dad's Army. OK, well, you're the high scorers. This needs to be a low score for you. Let's hope it is. Dad's Army, how many of our 100 people said that? It's right. 82. Ooh, that's another high score. Takes your total up to 176.
There are some properly big scorers in this round, aren't they? We British people, we love our sitcoms.
Certainly do. Now, Alex.
Hello.
Alex, welcome to the show. What do you do?
I work in the energy business, looking particularly at renewable energy and how you can save energy in homes.
And when you're not doing that, Alex, what do you like to get up to?
I'm a big football fan, big supporter of Middlesbrough Football Club for my sins. I also am in training with Sophie for the Great North Swim, and I'm learning a bit of French as well at the moment.
Wow, so what, the Great North Swim and training for that and learning French, that's a mountain to climb, isn't it?
Multitasking.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're married.
Now, listen, you are on 76. The high scorers are Keith and Dale on 176. If you can score 99 or less, you are in round 2.
Yep. OK, I think there's a couple up there that I know. The one I'm going to plump for is Mark Corrigan and Sophie Chapman, and say Peep Show.
Peep Show. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Peep Show. Very well done. You're through. It's 5 for Peep Show. Very well done, Alex. Takes your total up to 81.
Well played, Alex. Good answer. That's the brilliant Olivia Colman again, this time with the equally brilliant David Mitchell.
And Steve, finally, your reward for waiting so patiently is that you are through to the next round. Yep. Even if you score 100 points, you won't overtake Keith and Dale on 176. So, Steve, remind us again what you do.
Yeah, I'm a self-employed decorator. So.
And what do you like doing with your time?
Well, like a friend along there, I am learning to play the guitar, but I also do pub quizzes, so I set pub quizzes.
Oh, you set the quiz.
Yeah.
How long have you done that for?
Oh, probably 20 years now.
And as a sort of question master, do you find that the general knowledge sticks in there?
Some of it does,
yeah.
Others doesn't. And, you know, you can ask the same question 3 times and still not remember the answer.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, I know that one, yeah. So, Steve, which were the sitcoms that these couples were in?
Ben Harper and Susan Harper. I can't, it's something family, or The Family, is it? I don't know. Basil Fawlty and the bottom, of course, is Fawlty Towers. But I think I'll go for the Rennie and Edith Artois' Allo Allo.
Allo Allo, says Steve. No red line for you, you're already through, but let's see how many people said Allo Allo. It's right. 67. Takes your total up to 122.
Let's take a look at the rest. Now, Ben Harper and Susan Harper, you were nearly there. It's My Family.
My Family.
My Family would have scored you 50 points. Basil Fawlty and Sybil Fawlty. Now, what do you think that would score? It's obviously going to score.
I would hope 97.
Even more than that. It scores, doesn't happen very often, 100 points.
Brilliant.
100 points for Fawlty Towers. And best answer on the board, is Beverly Lincoln and Sean Lincoln, another modern sitcom.
This is the brilliant episodes.
Stephen Mangan and Tamsin Greig, episodes. Would have scored 1 point, so very well done if you said that. It's a terrific answer.
Thanks very much indeed. So at the end of our first round, the pair will be heading home with their high score of 176. I'm afraid to say it's Keith and Dale. Ooh, you were right. 2 perfectly good answers, but 2 very high-scoring ones there. OK, well, listen, we'll see you again next time. Keith, Dale, look forward to that very much indeed. Thanks very much. Great. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Well, so only 3 pairs remain, and at the end of this round, we'll be saying goodbye to another pair. Andrew and Steve, welcome to round 2.
Thank you.
This is what it looks like. Estelle and Kath, lovely low scores from you. Very well done. You would appear to be the pair to beat. But best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 is awards. Awards. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. So let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many honoured 2012 Olympic and Paralympic athletes. Honoured 2012 Olympic and Paralympic athletes. Richard.
Yes, in her 2013 New Year's Honours list, the Queen honoured over 60 UK athletes who took part in the Olympics or the Paralympics. We're looking for any of them, please. So any UK competitor in the 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games who got an MBE, OBE, CBE, knighthood or damehood in the 2013 honours list. We're not looking for anyone who had got one beforehand, like Sir Chris Hoy. Anyone who was honoured in that 2013 list, please. Very best of luck.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So, as the man said, any 2012 Olympic or Paralympic athlete honoured in the 2013 New Year's Honours list. Andrew. Is this a really terrible category?
This is a really terrible category.
OK, well, I'll give you a moment or two just to think back to the glorious summer of 2012.
I really don't know who was honoured. I've just got to think of somebody who did fairly well, and I'll say Tom Daley.
Tom Daley, says Andrew. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said Tom Daley. Oh, bad luck, Andrew. Bad luck. That may well not be the last incorrect answer of this round. But bad luck. It scores you 100 points.
Yeah, it is bad luck. As I say, there are over 60 names on this list. There's a lot of people, but I think perhaps he was too young, or perhaps the Queen had watched Splash. I don't know. He was not honoured.
Thanks very much indeed. Alex, what are you going to go for?
It's quite a tricky one, this, actually, because I've got a couple of names that I think are quite safe, and then a couple that I think are a bit risky. Right, I'm going to play what I hope is safe and say Mo Farah.
Mo Farah, says Alex. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Absolutely right. 33. Good answer, Alex.
Yeah, CBE for Mo Farah. Absolutely well played.
Estelle. Estelle, did you watch all the Olympics?
Yes, although that seems to be paying me no dividend whatsoever.
Any names springing to mind?
Well, I know that the Paralympic cyclist Sarah Storey is Dame Sarah Storey. It's whether or not it happened then or whether it happened before, but that's the only name that's coming to mind, so I'll go with that. OK,
Sarah Storey, says Estelle. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said it. If it is, Sarah Storey. It's right. Very well done, Estelle. That's a great answer. Down it goes to 8. Brilliant score. Very well done.
Yeah, Dame Sarah Storey is a terrific answer. She's got 4 golds at the 2012 Olympics, bringing a total to 11 golds in all, which is amazing stuff. She started as a swimmer, funnily enough, when she was 14. Got an ear infection, so couldn't go in the pool anymore, swapped to cycling. 11 gold medals later, she's a dame, and rightly so.
Thanks very much. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. 8, the best score of that pass, Estelle. Very well done. Once again, Estelle and Kath can relax a little bit on the back of that. Then up to 33, where we find Alex and Sophie. Then up to 100, I'm afraid. A long way up, Andrew and Steve. But Steve, if you have a brilliant answer and someone else makes a mistake in the next pass, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be through. Best of luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, Kath, remember we're looking for any 2012 Olympic or Paralympic athlete on the 2013 New Year's Honours list. You're in a very good position at the moment, thanks to Estelle's answer. You're on 8. The high scorers on 100, Steve and Andrew, so 91 or less keeps you in the game.
I watched the Olympics, but I didn't really pay attention to who was honoured afterwards, so I'm just going to have to pick someone and hope that they were. And I'm going to go for Nicola Adams.
Nicola Adams, says Kath. Estelle is nodding. She likes that. There's your red line. Get below that with Nicola Adams and you're in the head-to-head. Let's see how many people said Nicola Adams. Let's see if it's right. It is right, and you are through. Very well done, Kath. Oh, that's a brilliant score. 2 for Nicola Adams. Takes your total up to 10. Wonderful low total there.
Yes, a great answer, that, isn't it? Nicola Adams, of course, won gold in the flyweight women's boxing.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, Sophie. Sophie, you want to score 66 or less with this to keep in the game?
I can think of quite a few people who did very well in the Olympics. One that's coming to mind, I don't know whether they may have been honoured prior to 2012, but I'm going to go with it and say Ben Ainsley.
Ben Ainsley, says Sophie. There's your red line. Get below that with Ben Ainsley. You are through to the head-to-head. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Ben Ainsley. It's right. And you're through. Very well done. 12 for Ben Ainsley. Takes your total up to 45.
Gold medals in 4 consecutive Olympics for Ben Ainsley, or as he now is, Sir Ben Ainsley.
Thanks very much indeed. Richard, now Steve. I'm sorry to say you are the high scorers, and you haven't yet given your answer. Have you got a good one?
No.
Well, that's kind of a relief, I suppose.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
I have an answer.
OK, oh, that's good.
Yeah. I now wish I'd watched it more than I did. That's all I can say. So, I'm going to go for Jennifer Ennis.
Jennifer Ennis, says Steve. No red line for you as you're the high scorers, but let's see if Jennifer Ennis is right. No, bad luck, Steve. I'm sorry, that's an incorrect answer. Scores you the maximum of 100 points, but it does mean you can go out with a bang. You are our newest members of the 200 Club. Congratulations.
But it is extraordinary what the studio lights can do to you, because I know you know for a fact she's called Jessica Ennis. It's quite a few pointless answers. Let's take a look at a few of them. An awful lot of people were honoured. 2 rowing OBEs here, Alex Gregory and Anna Watkins. The boxer, Anthony Joshua, was made an OBE as well. In fact, all of these are OBEs. Danielle Brown, Heather Stanning, another rower. Johnny Peacock, the Paralympic sprinter, was also honoured. You could have had Catherine Copeland, another of the boxers, Luke Campbell, the gold medal winning shooter, Peter Wilson. You could have had Alistair Brownlee, would have been a pointless answer. Charlotte Dujardin was a pointless answer. Etienne Stott was a pointless answer. Helen Glover. So there's all sorts of pointless answers out there. Let's take a look at the top 3. There's Mo Farah on 33. Jennifer Ennis's sister, Jessica, with 36 there. And who do you think's there? And right at the top, Sir Bradley Wiggins on 50.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of that second round, I'm afraid it's Steve and Andrew, our returning pair. We have to say goodbye to with their high score of 200. That was a tough one.
We joined the 200 Club at least.
Yeah. Did you find that, Andrew, as the round went on, did you think of lots of other people you could have said?
No.
That's kind of a relief, I think, isn't it? But I'm really sorry we have to say goodbye to you, Steve and Andrew. It's been great having you on the show. Thanks so much for playing. Great contestants. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Estelle and Kath, Sophie and Alex. You're now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,000. Now, to decide which pair is going to play for that money, you're now going to go head-to-head. The difference is, of course, you're now allowed to confirm. The first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for the jackpot. Now then, you've seen off our only returning pair. They've gone. And here you are, Estelle and Kath. Fantastic performance throughout the show. Low scoring consistently in every single round. And Sophie and Alex, very, very well done as well. Very strong indeed. Of course, the difference being you can now talk about your answers before you submit them, which takes some of the pressure off. Best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns birds beginning with C. Birds beginning with C, Richard.
We're about to show you 5 images now of birds. They all begin with C. We just need to tell us the most obscure of these. They've all got one-word names according to the RSPB website. Very best of luck.
OK, thanks, Richard. Let's reveal our 5 birds beginning with C, and here they are. We have got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are, 5 birds beginning with C. Now, Estelle and Kath, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first.
Right, I haven't actually seen any A's in my garden, but I reckon A is a capercaillie.
A capercaillie. For A, say Estelle and Kath. Now, Sophie and Alex, do you fancy taking us through the rest of the board?
I'd love to try to, Xander. I think we're going to plump with B, which we're going to say is a chaffinch.
B, a chaffinch, say Sophie and Alex. B, a chaffinch. So we have capercaillie versus chaffinch. Estelle and Kath said capercaillie for A. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Capercaillie. Absolutely right. Very well done indeed, Estelle. That's a brilliant answer. Look at your score. Look at that, 9. Very well done indeed. Lovely low score there. Sophie and Alex have gone for chaffinch for B. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said chaffinch. Well, it's right, but it's got to beat 9. No, 43. 43 for chaffinch. Still a good answer, but Estelle and Kath, very well done to you. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, the chaffinch. It's the 2nd commonest breeding bird in the UK. The capercaillie, however, is declining very rapidly. It's very in danger of leaving the UK altogether. It's on the red list, the capercaillie. It's a very good answer, though. C is...
It's a curlew.
It is a curlew, yeah. And that would have scored you 22. D is a cuckoo. A cuckoo would have scored you 20. And E...
Is that a crane?
It is a crane, yes, and that would have scored you 31 points. Very well done to anyone who got all 5 of those. So the best answer there is the capercaillie, so good work.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So here comes your second question. Sophie and Alex, you need to win this one to stay in the game, but you do get to answer it first. It concerns British landmarks. British landmarks, Richard.
We're going to show you 5 anagrams now of famous landmarks from around the UK. Where they commonly have the in front of their name, we've removed the, but other than that, it's an anagram.
Thanks very much indeed. OK, let's reveal our 5 anagrams of British landmarks, and here they are. Honest Jean, Looney's Far Up Thames, Worst Chief Fivefold, Up Rampant Chocolate, and Lech Sons. I'll read those again. Honest Jean, Looney's Far Up Thames, Worst Chief Fivefold, Up Rampant Chocolate, and Lech Sons, or Lech Sons. There we are. 5 anagrams of British landmarks. Sophie and Alex, you'll go first this time.
We're struggling a little bit with this one. So I think we're going to go with Honest Jean as being Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. Honest Jean, Stonehenge. So then, Estelle and Kath, you can take us through the board if you like.
Someone needs to take us through the alphabet, I think. We're just going to have a total guess.
Oh, I don't know. The middle one. Tower of London.
OK, Tower of London, you're going to say for Worst Chief Fivefold. Tower of London. OK, so we have Stonehenge versus Tower of London. Sophie and Alex said Stonehenge. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Stonehenge. It's right. 26. Now, Stella and Kath, you have said the Tower of London for the middle one. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Tower of London. No bad luck. Very well done. Sophie and Alex, you're back in the game. After 2 questions, it's 1-1.
No, it's such a difficult round, that one. It's because especially there's so many UK landmarks, you can't even do the thing of thinking of the landmark first and seeing if it fits a clue, because there's so many. The one at the bottom, some people might have got, it's Loch Ness.
Oh.
Would have scored 30 points, though, so wouldn't have won you the point. Now, loonies far up Thames, there's actually a clue in the question there. Where would you find loonies up the Thames? Find them in the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, look at that.
And that would have scored you 4 points. Well done if you said that. Worst chief fivefold. In a famous song, when you're coming on the ferry, you see...
Oh, the White Cliffs of Dover.
White Cliffs of Dover, yeah. How difficult is that? 2 points. And Up Rampant Chocolate is a pointless answer. It's a big stately home, it's a big royal residence. It's Hampton Court Palace. That's a pointless answer. If anybody got that, I doff my cap to you. That's terrific work.
Wow. Well, here comes your third question. This is the decider. Whoever wins this goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. It concerns One Direction. One Direction, big pointless favourites. Richard.
Sandra and I, big fans of One Direction, so I'm hoping everyone's going to get all of these. And at home, I hope there are a number of people who are going to get all 5 of these. You better do. We're going to give you 5 clues now to facts about One Direction. Can you give us the most obscure of these answers? Very best of luck.
Thanks very much, Richard. So let's reveal our 5 clues to facts about One Direction, and here they are. The year the band competed in the X Factor, the number of band members, the X Factor judge who mentored the band on the show, the song that won Best British Single at the Brits in 2012, and the Extra Factor host once romantically linked with Harry Styles. I'll read those one last time. The year the band competed in the X Factor, the number of band members, the X Factor judge who mentored the band on the show, the song that won Best British Single at the Brits in 2012, and the Extra Factor host once romantically linked with Harry Styles. There we are, 5 clues to facts about One Direction. Estelle and Kath, you go first.
Is it Caroline? Yeah, it is, but the one above is What Makes You Beautiful.
OK, go for that one.
Right, well, we think we know the bottom 2, but the one we think that least people might know is the song that won Best British Single at the Brits, and we think that that is What Makes You Beautiful.
What makes you beautiful? Say Estelle and Kath, what makes you beautiful? Sophie and Alex, the board is yours.
Right. Well, if there's one band you could have put up there which doesn't tick my box, that it would probably be One Direction, but fortunately...
Don't say that. You'll get in such trouble.
I think Sophie's quite a fan. So
I wouldn't go that far. I know one other answer on there, and so that's the one we're going to go for, as the Extra Factor host romantically linked with Harry Styles as being Caroline Flack.
Caroline Flack, says Sophie. Caroline Flack. So we have What Makes You Beautiful versus Caroline Flack. Let's see. What makes you beautiful? Say Estelle and Kath. Is that right? And if it is, how many people said it? Is right. Oh, look at that. Brilliant. 4. That's a fantastic answer, Estelle and Kath. 4 for What Makes You Beautiful. Now, Sophie and Alex, that's what you have to beat with Caroline Flack. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said it. It is right. It has to beat 4, though, if you're going to stay in the game. Down it goes. Still going. Oh, 16. Very well done. That means, Estelle and Kath, after 3 questions, you are through to the final, 2-1.
Actually, nothing you could have done there. What Makes You Beautiful was the best answer up there, so very well played. And the other answers, the year the band competed in the X Factor was 2010. 2010 would have scored you 13 points. The number of band members...
5, obviously, yeah.
Would have scored you 46 points. And the X Factor judge who mentored the band on the show...
Simon Cowell,
It was Simon Cowell, yes. And would have scored you 12 points. What Makes You Beautiful sold 5 million copies worldwide. Sold 3 million in the US alone. That's a hit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks very much indeed. So, I'm afraid at the end of our head-to-head round, the pair leaving us is going to be Sophie and Alex. But you did very well. 3 correct answers there. But I'm afraid they just really undercut you there. Kappa, Kaylee, and What Makes You Beautiful, just unbeatable answers there. Just wonderful. So I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to you for now. But we'll see you again next time. We'll look forward to that very much indeed. Thanks very much for playing Meanwhile, Sophie and Alex. But for Estelle and Kath, it's now time for our Pointless final. Congratulations, Estelle and Kath. You've seen off all the competition and you've won our coveted Pointless trophy, so very well done. You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £1,000. Well, as always, you kick this round off by picking a category, and here are your 4 choices. They are opera, the British and Irish Lions, US politics, Sheffield.
Well, I don't know anything about Sheffield. I work in Sheffield about once a week, but all I see is a train and then an office.
Yeah, I could probably have a go at US politics. Could you have a go at US politics?
Probably not really, no. So for me, it's either opera and I'll have a go, or US politics and you'll have a go. We try opera?
OK. I bow to your opera knowledge.
Oh, dear.
OK, you're going to go opera.
Yeah.
Richard, they're going with opera.
Oh, well, yeah, good for you. I have to say that sometimes when things like Sheffield come up, it's sort of the way to go, because there's things hidden under those categories that you might like. But you've gone for opera, so let's give you your 3 categories here. We're looking for any opera composed by Puccini, any opera composed by Rossini, and any individual opera composed by Wagner, please. So Puccini, Rossini, and Wagner operas. Very, very best of luck.
Thanks very much indeed. OK, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that jackpot of £1,000 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Now, remember, the answers you give can come from any of these categories. It's entirely up to you. They can be all from the same category, 1 from one, 2 from another, completely up to you. Are you ready?
Yep.
OK, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Right. Puccini did
Madame.
Yeah, Madame Butterfly. Rossini did Barbara of Seville. Wagner did The Ring, but that's going to be a really big
the
answer.
Ring of the Nibelung. Did he do that?
Ring das Nibelung, something like that.
Did he do Die Fledermaus, or is that a different Wagner?
Oh, no, that's Mozart.
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, no, it's Strauss. Just
Anyway, it's not
don't
there.
listen to me. I don't know.
Right, so possibly the best chance might be with
Rossini,
Rossini,
didn't
Barbara of Seville.
But we've got... We might as well keep going.
Puccini.
Tristan and Isolde, is that Wagner?
Don't know. Come on, there's Puccini wrote loads. La Bohème, you said, didn't you?
In the Hall of the Mountain King, but that's not an opera,
No,
is it?
no.
Turandot.
Turandot.
Is that Rossini?
That is Puccini.
Puccini.
Yeah.
So
Turandot, Barbara of Seville.
let's go for a Wagner. Let's go for the Ring of the Nibelung.
OK, that's your time up. That is your time up. I now need your 3 answers. What are you going to give me?
Right. We're going to go for Puccini operas, we're going to go for Turandot.
Turandot.
Probably pronounced very badly. And what was the other
Barbara of
one?
Seville, was it?
Yeah, for Rossini.
Rossini.
We're gonna go Barbara of
Seville.
And for Wagner, we're going to
Oh,
go...
Tristan and Isolde.
Go on, have a guess.
Tristan and Isolde. OK. Of those 3, which do you think is your best shot?
I don't think any of them will be pointless, but we could try for Turandot, I think.
OK, we'll put Turandot last. And which is your least likely?
Tristan and Isolde, because I don't
Tristan
even know
and
if it's right.
OK, Tristan and Isolde we'll put first, and then we'll put Barbara Seville in the middle. OK, let's put those up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have got Tristan und Isolde, the Barbara of Seville, and Turandot. OK, well, very, very best of luck. Let's take your first answer. Tristan und Isolde, you weren't sure if this was right. We will find out. If it is right and if it is pointless, you'll be leaving here with £1,000. What would you do with that, Estelle?
It sounds very boring, but I'd buy a window for my house.
Nothing boring about a window. Kath, how about you?
I'd buy champagne.
Excellent idea.
And I'd help her drink it.
No. I don't share.
OK, well, very, very best of luck. 3 good answers on the board. Your first, though, Tristan und Isolde. Let's see if that's right. If it is and it's pointless, it will win you the jackpot. So for £1,000, let's find out if it is a Wagner opera. Yes, it is. Good answer. Tristan and Isolde, very much a Wagner opera, a very famous one. Down it goes through the 40s, through the 30s. If this goes all the way down to 0, as I say, you leave here with £1,000. It's in single figures, still going down 4. Good answer, brilliant score. Now, your second answer was The Barber of Seville. Again, if it's right and if it's pointless, it will win you that jackpot. So for £1,000, let's find out if The Barber of Seville is a Rossini opera. It very much is. Now, your first answer, Tristan and Isolde, took you down to 4. The Barber of Seville now taking you down through the 20s into the teens, into single figures, 7. 7 for The Barber of Seville, which means everything is now riding on your last answer, Turandot. You were fairly confident about putting this one last.
I don't think it'll be pointless, though.
You don't think it'll be pointless? Well, only one way to find out. Let's see. If it is pointless and it's correct, it will win you the jackpot. For £1,000, let's find out if Turandot is a Puccini opera. It's right. So your first answer, Tristan and Isolde, took us down to 4. The Barber of Seville took us down to 7. Your final answer, Turandot, taking us down past... Oh, to 3. Well, I tell you what, 3 brilliant answers there. And I'm pretty sure if that minute had gone on a bit longer, you might well have come across a pointless answer. But unfortunately, you didn't in the minute provided. So I'm afraid the jackpot of £1,000 will not be yours today, and that will roll over onto the next show. But we have loved having you on the show, and you have done so well. And you do, of course, get to take home a pointless trophy each, so very well done for that.
Thank you.
Richard.
Yeah, very well played. You got one from each category there as well, which was nice. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers in all of those categories and hope there's none here you recognise. Puccini opera's Edgar. Gianni Schicchi would have been a pointless answer. La Rondine, Manon Lescaut would have been a pointless answer, as would Il Tabaro and Suor Angelica. All of those are pointless. Well done if you said any of those. For Rossini, La Donna del Lago, Mosse in Egitto, Otello, The Thieving Magpie, also a pointless answer. Well done if you said any of those. Some people may have got a couple of them. And Wagner, Das Liebesverbot, based on Measure for Measure. Rienzi, The Fairies, and The Master Singers of Nuremberg. All of those pointless answers. You could have also had Tannhauser for Wagner as well. I hope some people at home got some of those, and sorry you didn't hear.
Well, you've done so well, but unfortunately we do have to say goodbye to you, Estelle and Kath. We've loved having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Great contestants, Estelle and Kath. Well, sadly, they didn't win our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we will be playing for £2,000. Join us next time to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.